besties, welcome back to the channel. I'm so excited that you guys are here, and I'm even more excited because today we are going book shopping. So it's starting to warm up here in New Jersey, even though it's cloudy. That's why the lighting is not the best, but it is still warm. So my husband decided maybe it's time for us to start our tradition, which is about once a month we go and look for what type of bookstores do we have in the area, what are their selections, how good are they. So for today, we've picked Words Matter Bookstore in Pittman, New Jersey. It's going to be our first time going there. We've checked out the website. It seems like they have a really good selection. And also, it seems like they're located in a very quaint little town. And I think on the road, it seems like there was a lot of shops. So maybe we'll find like a cafe or maybe like a bakery or something where we can buy some coffee and some treats that we can just enjoy and sit down and read. So I'm absolutely excited. And then we're also bringing my baby, so I'm excited because it's going to be her first time. Hopefully we find some books for her. But yes, so I also wanted to let you guys know that I am currently reading a book. I am reading The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. It is historical fiction, and I have to say I'm actually listening to this one, and I'm very proud of myself because I don't normally like romance on audiobook because it cringes me out a little bit. And then fantasy, it's just too much world building. I feel like I get lost in the plot, but for some reason this is clicking on audiobook and I'm having a great time. So I am almost halfway through. I feel like that looks like about 40% ish, and I'm having a great time. But I'm going to tell you guys more about the book later on because we're on our way out. But this is a little heavy because you guys know Kristen Hanna does heavy, and I fear that I may start bawling inside of the bookstore or a cafe. So I've decided that maybe I should start reading a book that is a little lighter while I'm over there. So instead, I've decided to pick up Finale, the third book in the Caraval series by Stephanie Garber. I'm so excited to finish this book, the series. I feel like that's going to be such a great accomplishment for me because you guys know that I pick up new series and don't finish them. So I'm so happy. I love this world so much, and I can't wait to be back into it. So yeah, so without further ado, let's get ourselves ready to head out, and then I will see you guys when we get to the bookstore. It immediately started raining the minute we got there. Thank God we weren't parked too far, so we got to the bookstore pretty quickly. It was so cozy and fun inside. I really loved it. It had a decent amount of selection when it came to the books there, but I have to admit that the selection wasn't really like amazing. But I did find some really great books that I had my eye on. I didn't buy any of those because they were in hard covers, and you guys know I'm a paperback girly. However, I still had my eyes on them. Look at that Abby Jimenez one. I got really excited when I noticed that they had blind dates with a book, and I got one. We then decided to walk around and find a place to get lunch because we were famished. We worked up an appetite. We found this cute little restaurant. The coffee was really good, and their brunch lunch menu was amazing. They give you so much food. Even my daughter was like devouring the fries there. It was so good. I enjoyed it. All right, guys, just came back from the bookstore and I wanted to show you guys what I got. Nothing special. I didn't go too crazy. So I ended up getting a book for my daughter. I really like the title, Stella the Brave, and of course I want her to be brave and feel like she can do anything. So read a couple pages and thought it sounded good, so I got that for her. I also have been thinking about book journaling, but I'm not very artistic and I don't have a lot of imagination. So I thought that I would buy one that's already like predefined, and then this way get the hang of it, see what I like, what I don't like, and then maybe next year I can start a brand new one and I would have my own spreads and then make my own different collages. So I really like that one. It has a lot of space. I can do up to 105 reviews. I don't think I'm reading 105 books for the rest of the year, but I thought it was a good starter point. So I will show you guys in a little bit what the inside looks like. So I got that. And then I'm really, really excited about this one. I got blinded with a book. I really like the premise of this. So it says, Nell gazed up at the flight departure screens with a swooping sensation close to vertigo. I love romance movies where the main character is rushing to get to the airport so that they can prevent the love of their life from moving to another state without having the opportunity to tell them how they feel. And that's what I thought of when I read this. So let's take a look and see if I was on the money or way off. So can't wait to open this. Let's see. Not what I expected at all. I have never seen this book, never heard of this book, but let's see what this is about. That sounds so good. Okay, let me read to you what it's about. You're my best friend in the world, and my last request, I'm asking you to lay me to rest in my crazy gorgeous, totally one of a kind hometown. I know you're a born and bred city girl, but hear me out. After first losing Adrian and then me, I know your heart is hurting, Nell. I think you'll find that you need Tennessee Falls as much as I do. And if you follow my instructions to the letter, you may discover that there's more to my story than you think. Some last advice before you set off. Don't forget your sturdy boots and make sure to give Boomer, the inn's resident dog, a belly rub for me. Stay well away from former quarterback Brody Knott. Boy, do I have some stories about him. And finally, let the future brings what it brings. I know better than anyone that new beginnings can be found in all kinds of places. Wow, that sounds so good actually. I would have never picked up that book because I haven't seen it talked about anywhere online that I know of, but that sounds like it's a good one. Okay, I'm so excited for this one. And then I also wanted to show you guys the most recent books that I bought. Nothing too special. It's a very small book haul, and it's basically me trying to complete some series that I started. So, well, I haven't started this one yet, but I went to Barnes and Noble recently and got the last two books in the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. So I got the Ballad of Never After, which I hear everybody's favorite book is this one. This is a 6-star read for a lot of people. And then A Curse for True Love is the last book in the series. I have the first book somewhere here, so I'm gonna reunite them. And then I got the last two books from the Ember and the Ashes quartet. So I already read the first book, loved it, gave it a 5 stars. I'm supposed to be reading the second book for my April TBR. That hasn't happened yet, but we will figure it out. And then I got the third book and then the last book in the series. So those have been my recent book hauls. I think you've seen all the other books that I've bought. I think these are the only ones that I hadn't shared with you guys. Ooh, also, while I was at Barnes, I got 2 new bookmarks that I am absolutely obsessed with. I got this pink one that I think is so cute and magical. And like pink is one of my favorite colors, so I had to. And then, oh my God, look at this purple one. Gorgeous, stunning. This is so beautiful. I just love that one. And I want to get more in like that kind of style. It makes it look so whimsical to me. I'm so obsessed with this one. Imagine me reading this with the purple book from the Ember Quartet. Or even better, imagine me reading this book with this bookmark. Come on, tell me this is not just fabulous. Matter of fact, I'm gonna open this immediately and have this as my bookmark for this book. I love it. Good morning, guys. It's been several days. Matter of fact, several weeks since I last filmed that bookstore trip that we took, and I had so much fun, and that also little book haul. And that's only because life has been lifing, okay? Y'all know what I mean. You guys go through it also. So I haven't really had time to pick up the camera and film, except I ordered a bunch of books because I needed some retail therapy and did a little book unboxing book haul for you guys. It should already be up on the channel, so if you guys haven't seen it, go ahead and take a look. I will have it linked somewhere or in the description. But that being said, I know you guys have noticed that my little book corner has been looking quite crazy lately. I have stuff all over the shelves. The books are not making quite sense anymore. And with that new book haul, things are about to get a little crazier if I don't take matters into my own hand and start reorganizing my bookshelf. So that's what we're gonna do. But I wanted to give you guys an update first. I did finish The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. And oh my God, Kristen Hanna is the queen of devastation. If you want your heart broken, pick up a Kristen Hanna book. This is my second book by her, and this was amazing. Now, that being said, I give The Nightingale 5 stars. Honestly, 6 stars. Like, this book is now the bar for me in terms of like emotional devastation. And this one was pretty good also. I gave this one a 4.5 stars. It wasn't quite a 5 stars for me. There were a couple things that I felt like parts where the book kind of dragged on a little bit. But overall, I ate this stuff. Loved it. And the audiobook, phenomenal. The audiobook is so good and grips you. I'm not an audiobook person per se, although actually I feel like I'm becoming one, but this book is the book that's like sold me on audiobook. So good. So I don't know if I explained what this book was about, but basically we are following Lenny and her parents, Cora and Ernest. Ernest is a veteran. He served in the Vietnam War. And when he came back with the obvious stuff that usually happen with veterans. If they've experienced trauma, he came back with PTSD, and he is looking to make a fresh start. So when he inherits a piece of land in Alaska, he convinces his family to go ahead and make the move, and they go all the way up north, leave everything behind, and decide that they're gonna try to see if they are strong enough to make it in Alaska. And that's basically the premise of the book. I'm not going to give you guys more because I do feel like this needs to be experienced, but we follow them throughout a period of almost like 20 years, I feel like, maybe more. And when I tell you this was beautiful, the love story in this book, oh my God. I can't even. And the things that you learn, Kristen Hanna does historical fiction so well because she does it in a way that it's not boring. You're learning so much about the world as it was during that time period, but she is humanizing it because you're getting to see it through the lens of the characters, through the eyes of the characters. And she gives you multiple perspectives. It's never black and white. Even the characters that you don't like, on some level, you understand their pain, their trauma, what they are coming from. Obviously, throughout the entire book, you are rooting for Lenny and the other cast of characters that you're meeting from Alaska. But even for the people that you're not rooting for, you still understand some of their perspective. There are interesting viewpoints that are shared in this book, viewpoints that are very relevant to what we're currently facing in our world, which is so also interesting because this starts off in 1974, and to see that some of the viewpoints and rhetoric that are being shared in this book in 1974 are still relevant and are still talking points in 2025, the year of the Lord, it's so interesting. But it also shows you that those things have been brewing. You know, people have felt like this for a long time. It's just manifesting on a higher, bigger scale now, and we're experiencing it. So definitely hit home on a couple of those rhetoric and topics, and I definitely saw like how this was a breeding ground and it started a long time ago. But yes, absolutely love this. Writing was beautiful. The description of Alaska, oh my God, this woman almost convinced me that I could cut it out and like, tough it out in Alaska. I could never make it. But she made it sound so beautiful that I would absolutely love to visit Alaska one day. And I could understand the appeal for some people why they would want to forego all kind of civilization and go somewhere far and decide that they are going to fish, hunt for their food, and be off the grid. So loved it, loved it. I cannot wait to pick up a Kristen Hanna book sometime soon, possibly The Women. But so that's the book, The Great Alone, highly recommend. And then I have been reading the last book of the Caraval series by Stephanie Garber, which is Finale. And I'm going to be really honest, you guys. I'm not loving this. I've been reading this book for 2 weeks now, possibly. That's how long it's been since I've picked up the camera. But yes, I've probably been reading this book for about 2 weeks now. I thought I was going to absolutely love this, and I'm only powering through. I'm going to be real honest. I would have DNF'd. It's not that it's bad. It's just that it's infuriating. The characters are so infuriating. I can't tell you guys much, obviously, because this is the third book of the series. I'm only powering through this because I really want to get the full story before I start the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. So I'm like, I have to know what happened so I can understand the next series. I know some people say you don't, but I just want to. That's the way my brain worked. It wants to understand it. So we're going to do what my brain wants to do. But it's not that it's a bad book. It's beautifully written. I still love the atmospheric, magical, interesting world that Stephanie Garber seemed to weave. The way her mind works, this woman, oh my God, like I don't even know. Love this. However, what I don't love is how the characters are portrayed. I feel like they don't resemble the characters that we knew in the first 2 books. They've kind of changed. And one of the characters in particular, her inner monologue is so annoying. Like the whole time I want to be like, girl, shut up. Like all of the things that you're complaining about don't make sense. It's very insistent and repetitive. She's complaining about the same thing over and over again. And I just, like I want to skip through her passages, but obviously I can't because you're missing tidbits. So that particular character is the reason why I've been actually listening to this, because if I had to read this, I don't think I could power through, but I've been listening to it. So we're gonna go ahead and organize my bookshelf, and I have like an hour of this book left. Let me take a look and see. Yeah, I have an hour and 2 minutes of it left. So I think it's going to take me about that time, maybe more, but we'll just use that time to finish the book. And then I will give you my final thought on this. I do think like this is going to be like a 3-star for me when it comes to this book, but we'll see if the ending maybe bumps it up to a 3.5. This is definitely not going above a 3.5 though, for sure. So let's organize the bookshelf and finish the book. All right, you guys, this is the final setup. I am happy with it, even though I'm not completely satisfied. I'm starting to realize that I may need to set up my third bookshelf pretty soon. I did buy the third bookshelf from IKEA. I have the Libby setup, and I knew I was gonna want 3 bookshelves, but of course I didn't have enough books to have that set up yet. So I put it in my garage and I was like, when I have enough books, I will go ahead and set it up. And I think I'm getting there because there are some books from the same authors that I wanted together, but I wasn't able to get them all together the way I wanted to. For example, I have the Lakefront Billionaire series right here, but the Dreamland Billionaire series is right there. And honestly, I would want them together, but I didn't want to disturb this pastel color that I have going on here. So I separated them for now. But I do think that I will want to switch that up in the future. So anyways, I did my best. I feel like at least now the space doesn't have books laying around everywhere, which was starting to stress me out. Everything is in its place, and that makes me feel a lot better. So now my space is peaceful again and inviting, and it's set up for reading. So let me know if you guys want to do a bookshelf tour, if you want me to kind of explain my setup and what I had in mind when I was doing it. I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm not going to do it in this video. But I'm gonna go ahead and get lunch, and then I will finish the book and I will let you guys know my final thoughts. All right, besties, it is Sunday evening here, and I just came back from an event. That's why I have this little cute dress on. But I'm here with my final update for Finale by Stephanie Garber, and my opinion still stands. I think I'm gonna settle on a 3.5 for this book. The characters were absolutely infuriating. The story was predictable. I don't know if this needed a trilogy, to be honest. I don't feel like anything that got accomplished in this book was warranted, to be honest. I don't know. I don't know. Don't get me wrong. It was fun, sort of. I did enjoy some parts of it. I did like, so there are two main characters, I would say, and then there are multiple love interests. And the two main characters, one of them kind of grew a lot throughout this book and changed a lot. I don't know if I believe in the change because the change was so drastic. That person went from being one way to being completely different. But you know what? After the experiences that that person had, I could see how maybe they would become stronger, more courageous, more bold. It feels like a leap, but hey, people can grow that much. The other character I kind of felt like regressed. They used to be very bold, very like confident, and their inner monologue, like I said, was very like, oh my God, does he not love me? What do we do? What do I do? Like, can I not? It was just, please stop whining. Like, no. I love this character so much in the second book, and I absolutely hated this character. So the only character that I didn't hate whatsoever was a character that was on the first book, and I felt like that character remained consistent throughout the entire book, and I don't think that that character had any real growth per se. I guess from the first book to the second book, yes, and then from this point forward, like I felt like they remained the same, and they were just amazing. They are like my like cutie poo, and I love them, and that's it. That's the only character that I really enjoyed. All the other characters, I could have done without. So personally, I don't feel like this was warranted, but because I love this world so much, I still had a good time. Again, 3.5. I'm not gonna harp on this. Now I'm so happy I'm done with this, and I finished an entire series, guys. Round of applause for me. And so I now can move on to the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. Exciting stuff, exciting stuff. I also took this morning to relax and just enjoy my time. I know I showed you guys that I bought the reading journal when I went to visit that bookstore. And so I started to fill it out and I'm enjoying it. I'm starting to feel like soon I'm going to be ready for kind of like a blank reading journal that I can customize, because I already see some stuff that I would want to do differently, but I'm gonna keep at it for a little while on this one just so I can get more, inspiration to do it. So I just want to show you guys a couple of the spreads that I did. Well, that one is pretty ugly. I probably should have used a different, like a pencil instead, and then have different colors for the different percentages. But you know what? You live and you learn. I'm gonna continue with the pink. There is another one that I can use if I really want to get to it, but yes, so I have that one, that little spread that I started, and then I really like this one. I feel very proud of myself. So far, I have some of the books that I've read so far this year. The list is not complete here, but I'll continue to add to it, and I really like this one. It makes me feel really good. So I think if I ever have my own book journal that I like start from scratch, I definitely want something like that. And then the part where you actually give the reviews, you didn't have any pictures there. What it currently has is that you can put the title, the author, like different information about the book, like the number of pages, the genre, the date it was published. It also have when you started the book and when you finished the book. I really like that. Different ratings, kind of like how exciting the book was, easy to read, your overall rating. So I kind of like that also. So it can kind of make you think a little bit more than about like your enjoyment of the book. So to be a little bit more critical. And it also asks you questions to kind of get you going in terms of like what did you think of the book? What was the most interesting, intriguing, challenging, surprising thing? What are you going to take away from the book? I really like that, because sometimes like if you read a book and you're not taking away anything from it, is it really a 5 stars? You know what I mean? Even though 5 stars is a feeling, but so there's that. And then on the second page, you can put like your thoughts and quotes. And I really like that, because there are some quotes that I have in books that I want to be able to refer to, but they're inside of the book. And, I don't always have that book with me, but the book journal might always be with me. So it's kind of good to be able to grab those right away. The only thing that I didn't like is that there was no pictures of the book, nowhere to add a picture of the book. So I kind of decided that I would start adding pictures of myself. And so this is what I ended up doing. I ended up buying this little mini printer, and I really like it. The only downside is that this one is not a color one. It is black and white, but it's still doing the job. It's really easy. It was really cheap. Link it in my description below, so you guys can definitely purchase one if you want to. Very inexpensive and like should do the job. And then so I put the picture of the book, and then I add the quotes that really kind of like stuck to me. There's probably more quotes, but I added the main ones. I'll probably go back and add more. And so yeah, so this is what I have so far, guys. And I tried to use the colors kind of like reflective of the book, since the printing is black and white. So this is why we have blue for Kristen Hanna's The Nightingale. And then I do believe this book has a little bit of green in it. And then, for example, Wild Side is green. So as you guys can see. So yeah, so this is what I have so far. I definitely have read way more books this year, so I have to continue filling it out. So I will continue doing that. But overall, I really like this journal. I did get it at the bookstore, but I will try to link the Bookstore's website, and if you guys can purchase it there, then I would highly recommend. But I also did find it on Amazon, so if you guys want to purchase on Amazon also, you guys can purchase it there too. So I also link the Amazon link for you guys. All right, that's it for the vlog, you guys. This vlog is probably going to be super long. I am so sorry about that. Leave me a comment below if you've gotten this far. Let's leave a book as an emoji if you've gotten this far, for a book journal, for ultimate book video. And as you guys already know, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys so much. Like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.